When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. Persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give up. The first step is to establish that something is possible, then probability will occur. I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. Great companies are built on great products. I think that's the single best piece of advice. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better and questioning yourself. If you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, it is a bright day. Otherwise, it's not. I say something, and then it usually happens. Maybe not on schedule, but it usually happens. The path to the CEO's office should not be through the CFO's office, and it should not be through the marketing department. It needs to be through engineering and design. The idea of lying on a beach as my main thing just sounds like the worst. It sounds horrible to me. I would go bonkers. I would have to be on serious drugs. I'd be super duper bored. I like high intensity. If you want to grow a giant redwood, you need to make sure the seeds are okay, nurture the sapling, and work out what might potentially stop it from growing all the way along. Anything that breaks it at any point stops that growth. I think it's very important to have a feedback loop where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. If you're trying to create a company, it's like baking a cake. You have to have all the ingredients in the right proportion. The first step is to establish that something is possible, then probability will occur. Some people don't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is disaster. I think it's very important to have a feedback loop where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. If you go back a few hundred years, what we take for granted today would seem like magic, being able to talk to people over long distances, to transmit images, flying, accessing vast amounts of data like an oracle. These are all things that would have been considered magic a few hundred years ago. I think the best way to predict the future is to make it. It's okay to have your eggs in one basket as long as you control what happens to that basket.